guys, it is me, Mr. Tristan of Contagious. I just want to give you a word today. Can I do that? Can I give you a word today? You saying yes? Okay. Alright. I promise you I will not be long. Now the topic is I'm fighting a mental warfare. Now, how many of us are stuck in a place mentally where the wall we built in our minds are causing us to feel as if we are suffocating ourselves because we refuse to let go of the things that we endured, which plays a major part of the wall being built. Because the wall was made out of the bricks that was formed by our pain and life situations that we had to face or are still dealing with. Now, if I could name the first and second wall, I would name it open wounds. See, because if we look at all the things we endured and all the torments, heartaches, insecure thoughts of things that transpired, the brokenhearted, the low self-esteem, and all the pain which caused us mentally to feel unclean because we haven't healed from the things that destroyed us. So mentally, we look in the mirror, all we see is the open wounds. Now, I need you to follow me. I'm going somewhere with this. You have to hang on because I'm trying to coach you on how to strategize your battle plan. Now, here we are at the third wall. I would name it hostage. Now, you're looking at me pondering, why is this wall called hostage? I'm glad you asked. Because behind the caution tape, there is your inner truth, which are the things that was instilled in you, the very part that set you apart from the others, which is being held hostage at gunpoint by the very things that you despise because it doesn't fit your personality or your spiritual growth. Follow me, that the entity or the thing that is holding you hostage is yourself, because you are contemplating, how can I fit my drug addiction, my negative lifestyle to fit in my Christian walk? But you realize that you will lose some of the so-called friends because you're making a life change. Now here is the caution tape that is surrounding you, which has the people that you call friends and loved ones. The ones that you want to keep in your circle, but they don't fit your Christian walk. Now this is what I want you to do. I want you to think about this crime scene. Why are the so-called friends that you care for standing on the opposite side of the caution tape and not trying to help you get free or trying to save you from being held up at gunpoint? Could they be afraid to go under the caution tape because they don't want to risk losing you, or they don't want their business exposed? Stay with me. We're getting closer to the battle plan, I promise you. So now we are trying to figure out how to win against our mental warfare. First, we got to understand that we are not alone and that God will never leave us nor forsake us. But if we look at John 20th chapter, 24th through the 29th verse, it talks about how Thomas wanted proof that Jesus has risen. When Thomas met up with Jesus, Jesus told Thomas to stick his hand in his womb. When Thomas stuck his hand in his womb, he was then asked by Jesus, do you believe now that you see me? Blessed are those who believe without seeing me. And if we go a little further, Luke 13, 10th through the 17th verse, it basically talks about how Jesus healed a woman that was crippled and could not stand for 18 years. And when Jesus saw her, he called her over and touched her and said, woman, thou art loose from your sickness. And if I can use both of these scriptures by basically saying, yes, I have been tormented, and yes, I'm still dealing with being broken, but I got to shake myself from this hell I'm dealing with, because I'm on the verge of killing myself, and I have to learn how to let God fight my battles. Yes, the woman in the Bible was dealing with her iniquity for 18 years, but I have been dealing with my problems over 18 years. And the time is now to let God come into my life and let him take over. God, I need you to come in and tear down these walls, because I put my trust in you, because I'm tired of bleeding from these wounds and I'm tired of being bent over. So Lord, I'm crying out for you. Here we are at the third wall. If we look at John 8, it basically talks about how the men wanted to punish the young woman because they have all slept with her and they didn't want anybody to know their business. So they tried to convince Jesus to be on their side as they tried to stone her to death. But Jesus stooped down and ignored them and wrote in the sand for the young woman to reassure her that he was not worried about what they were saying, but to let her know that he was not condemning her for the things she has done, because all he wanted her to do is to put her trust in him. So now look back to the crime scene. Here it is. You've been held hostage by the things you call an entity, but truly it's your own reflection. Here it is, you're fighting with the one thing that's trying to stop you from continuing your Christian walk because you're afraid to leave your problems behind you because you were comfortable in that place. The reason some of your friends and loved ones could not go under the caution tape was because they were there to encourage you in doing wrong, but rather watch you die so their business won't be open to the public. So here we are standing, thinking that we are all alone, thinking that we are about to die, but God reminds us that if we trust Him, He will take care of us. Sometimes He writes in the sand, and other times He steps right in the situation. We are in a place, a battlefield in our minds to see if we can handle the warfare. But here is the trick to that. We are so stuck to trying to fight things on our own that we always lose the battle. So here it is, the battle plan. We have to learn how to trust God and to let Him fight all of our battles because He is able to free us from all types of warfare. Only if we truly put our trust in Him. Now look at the caution tape. We was taught in school that it was used to protect us from the danger within and that we shouldn't cross that line. But how many of us know that God can use anything to give us a different meaning, to make a point to us? Here we are standing on the inside of the caution tape, but what we fail to realize is that from our view shows us that the so-called friends and loved ones are standing on the other side of the tape, which lets you know that God has placed a warning sign to avoid those types of people because they was caused nothing but failure to come upon you. Because if they were supposed to be in your life, they would be where you're standing, looking from the inside out to do to those that did not fit your Christian walk. I have 2 points and then I'm done. The caution tape is the beginning stage of learning who you are. It helps identify that what types of faith you have. We have to come to an understanding that there are going to be times where we feel as if we are all alone. But this is the extra nugget. The caution tape doesn't just identify those that are not for you, but to also see how strong is your faith. How many of us know that faith means the objects of things not seen? So God is saying, all because you do not see me does not mean I'm not there. All because my earthly body is not present does not mean I can't guide you. Now the second point, hazard. Can we take it deeper? The caution tape originally means to warn or catch the attention of passerbys of an area or situation containing a possible hazard. In other words, a warning sign against entering a dangerous area. God said, I have already separated you from those that are hazardous to your Christian walk and ministry. But the reason that the tape is elastic, because the blessings and anointing that are placed over your life, expands beyond any level. So even when the tape breaks, it still stretches. My God. So the question is, what type of material are you? Amen. So in closing, the battle plan was always there, but we had to learn how to trust God and to let Him come in our lives to